Because if you understand the operation of seeds, what you sow doesn't compare to what you reap. The reaping is always greater than the sowing. Somebody said, I was just angry that night. I was mad that night. I didn't mean to do it. I hauled off and hit. The police came. What's going to happen after that hit is not worth the hit. You ever had somebody say, hey, baby, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Y'all remember that old classic, The Color Purple, and she was at the table? And Oprah, with that one eye, she was weaning back and forth. She said, baby, it ain't worth it. It ain't, don't do it. What did she have? She had a temper, right? She had a temper, and she just, one afternoon, she just hauled off and went too far. What happened on that afternoon was not worth the time she spent and the years she lost. So you got to look at your whole life as seeds. You got to look at your time as seeds. When your phone rings, you need to look and say, wait a minute, this is a seed. Am I wasting? Have you ever been talking on the phone and you say, oh my goodness, I'm wasting time? Have you ever been talking to somebody and say, oh my goodness, I'm wasting time? Have you ever been in a seminar? Have you ever been in an orientation and you say, oh my goodness, I'm just wasting time? You got to look at everything that you're doing. Have you ever been in a meeting at your job and say, this is a waste of time? Everything that you do, you have to look at it as seeds. Seeds is a multiplier, and you get the opportunity to wake up every morning and choose how many seeds you plant and where you plant them. Nobody forces you to plant seeds anywhere. So you have every morning this bag of seeds. Now I need to make this very clear. Seeds are not blessings. Seeds are just operating systems. Right? So everybody wakes up with a bag of seeds, and you get to choose what you're going to do with your seeds. And what comes after today is based upon how you have managed. A major factor, there are other factors, but a major factor is on how you manage and how you use your seeds. Right? Now I need to talk about blessings before we get into the text. Because if you understand seeds and if you understand blessings, then you'll understand the language of Deuteronomy chapter 28. Now, a blessing is not a seed. A blessing is a bountiful, the definition is a bountiful gift, or it's grace or favor bestowed upon you. So whenever you say, somebody's blessed me, what they've done is they have given you something, or they have opened something up for you that was probably originally you were disqualified or unqualified for, and it is something that overtakes you or something that overwhelms you. It is something, a blessing is never a curse. Can you put that in the right category? So seeds are always a multiplier, and it's something that you must plant or something that you must give in order to get back. Holding seeds never creates produce. It never creates fruit. A fruit only comes after giving. That's just the law. When I talk about seeds, I'm only talking about a law. Right? If you understand the law, if you put time into your craft, what comes out? You become skillful. Anybody who wants to be a great pianist, anybody who wants to be a great violinist, if anybody that wants to be great in their field, if you want to be a professional, anybody that has a craft or whatever and you want to be really good at it, if anybody likes to draw, anybody likes to do the arts or whatever you like to do, whenever you invest and you put that time into it, the fruit will come. Right? But there is no fruit unless you first give. A blessing is not something you give to. Blessings are not fair. Blessings break the rules. Right? There was a gentleman who showed up to work, and he showed up to work 20 minutes late. And when he showed up 20 minutes late, he walked straight into walked straight into the coffee room. He got some coffee. He got some donuts. He's already 20 minutes late. Everybody else is working. He got his coffee. He got his donut or two. He started eating. He spent another 30 minutes having his breakfast and his little break. And then after about 30 minutes, an hour into work, he kind of dusts himself off. Then he walks over to his station and he plays solitary for a good hour. hour and a half. After that, then he goes on to lunch, because around this time it's about lunchtime. It's about 2-3 hours now into work, so he takes an early lunch. After he goes to lunch, he comes back. Lunch was supposed to be an hour. He comes back an hour and 27 minutes late. He strolls in, gets back at his desk, and he starts to do some work. After he gets some work, he realizes that he's exhausted. So what he does is he takes a little nap. He takes a little nap at the desk. He wakes up about 30 minutes later. He feels a little refreshed. There's nothing like a good power nap. He wakes up a little 30 minutes later, gets back to work, and before you know it, it's about time. It's about time to go home. He packs up his stuff and he goes home. Now all the workers, they see him, they see what he's doing, and so at the end of the week, they pass out bonuses, and he gets the largest bonus. Don't get mad, because blessings are not fair. Blessings don't follow the rules. Blessings are based on relationship, not law. For those of you taking notes, a blessing is not based upon law. A blessing is based upon relationship. Somebody says, how does he get the biggest bonus that everybody that works here? Because his father is the boss. All right. And when I told you that his father is the boss, you know what you say? You say, that makes perfect sense. Why? Now, you don't have to like it. You can quit if you want to. They'll just replace somebody else and put it. But blessings are not fair. So when you talk about seeds, you have to follow the law of seeds. The law of seeds is, if you have seeds, in order to get any fruit from a seed, you have to plant it, and you just can't plant it anywhere. You gotta plant it in good ground, and when you plant it in good ground, then you gotta wait, and then you gotta make sure to remove the weeds and clear the land, and you gotta water it, and you gotta take care. These are laws. Ignore the laws if you want to, and you'll never get a fruit. Right? I don't care, even with friends, right? Friends require times. Relationship requires times. Plants require time. Investment stocks require time. Everything is the law. You got to give time to it. If you don't give any time to it, you'll starve it, you'll kill it, and there'll be no fruit. Right? But a blessing don't operate. You don't operate on that system. So let's read Deuteronomy chapter 28, and as we read Deuteronomy chapter 28 really quick, I want you to think blessings are a bountiful gift. It is favor, right? It's open doors. It is something that can overwhelm you and increase your life. A blessing is never in the negative. A blessing is always in the positive. So when somebody says, I got blessed today, what they're saying is, hey, I got blessed today. Hey, what happened? Hey, my car got totaled. They don't say that in the same context. That's not a blessing. You don't understand what blessings is. You need to come to Bible class. That's something else has happened to you. Somebody says, hey, I got a blessing today. Unless the person is spiritually in tune to where tragedy, they're able to see through the tragedy and still see the blessing, right? But other than that, a blessing is never negative. A blessing is always on the positive. So when somebody says, God, please bless me, it's not a punishment they're asking for. It's a what? It's an increase. To be enlarged is to be bestowed upon. The Bible says, and it shall come to pass, if you will listen diligently unto the voice of the what? Of the Lord. Now, somebody says, Brother Williams, what does this have to do with seeds? What does this have to do with meticulously walking through life and preparing myself and positioning for myself for a blessing? I want a blessing this week. I want a blessing this week, but if I'm going to get blessed this week, I got to position myself for a blessing. Some of us, we disqualify ourselves from a blessing because we're in the wrong position. We don't understand how God operates. So even though he's about to get to seeds and he's about to get to blessings, the first thing that he starts off saying is, you got to hear my what? You got to hear my voice. If you don't hear my voice, then you won't hear the instructions to position yourself to get your blessing. And I want each and every one of you this evening to get your blessing. But in order to get your blessing, he says this. And like I said, I could take the same chapter and apply it to the New Testament and it would still apply. So it says, and it shall come to pass that if you will listen, but not just listen, listen what? Diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to do what, God? To observe, to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. You're not qualified. You're not qualified to be above all nations of the earth. You're not qualified. But the reason why I'll set you on high is because blessings are based upon what? Relationship. So to ignore God is to be demoted by God. I don't care what laws you follow. Do y'all see that? Now I need you to understand, the opposite of a blessing is a curse. God is going to do something in your life, but you get to choose what he does. We're just talking about blessings first. Yeah. But blessings and curses, they operate in the same way. You just have to read the verse backwards. Read verse 1 backwards and take out blessing and put in curse. Right? So if you don't listen to the voice of God, instead of him putting you high above all nations, what's the opposite of the verse? The whole world's on top of you. That's the opposite of the verse. So he says this: if you will listen to me, right? If you will follow my commandments, what am I asking you to do? I'm asking you to observe. I'm asking for you to listen. I'm asking for you to be obedient. You know what I'm asking you to do? I'm asking you to obey my commandments. Amen. To do what I tell you to do. Now, he says this: if you do what I tell you to do, even if you don't follow the laws of seeds, even if you don't understand how that operates, I'll still bless you. Just extra. Just what's extra. One blessing. One blessing. You can go so long without a car, and then all of a sudden somebody give you a car, or you had a car, you got and the loan went through, and you can go go on a lot, and you pick what you, but you've been walking for all of this time. You've been walking all this time, and then you get a car. What does a car do? Don't a car change the game? Oh yeah. Man. Hey, listen, I just want to let you, no, I'm good. Listen, I'm finna go and get out of here. I'm finna go and get out of here. What's going on? No, I'm good. You want to ride? You want to ride? Because I'm good. I'm finna leave right now. Somebody said, no, we're not ready to leave yet. That's cool. I drove. Yeah. Don't a car change the game. Hey, a house, an apartment changed the game. Because then you can walk in and do what you want to do. You ain't got to go to your room. You ain't got to go around. You ain't got to go to you ain't got to go there. When you got your own, a blessing can chase you down. It can overtake you. A blessing can heal you. A blessing can make you laugh again. Do you know blessings are connected to happiness? Yeah. And you said, no, God. And when you see God doing this, oh, God, I see you. God, I see what you're doing. Oh, my goodness. I don't know how to respond. When you're finally in a career or a job that you love, and you shake your head because you remember waking up so many mornings miserable, and now you love what you do. Yeah. And you drive to work and you look out the window and you see so many people miserable. And you can't wait to get to where you're going. Yeah. A blessing from God changes the game. Man. He says, you'll get these blessings, but I'm looking for obedient children. I'm looking for those who will do what I've asked them to do. Not just a little bit over here, or God, I'm kind of getting it together. Or no, I'm looking for obedient children. To observe everything that I've said, to study everything that I said, because don't miss your blessing. You can literally miss your blessing because you have failed or neglected to do what God has asked you to do in every aspect of your life. So he says they will overtake you. He says, look at the end of verse 2. If you what? If you listen. unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Look at verse 3. Blessed shall you be in the what? And blessed you should be in the... See, there are some people, there are only, some of you may not understand that verse. I don't think you understand that that verse and when it's dealing with blessings. Those are different types of blessings in verse 3. In verse 3, it's not the same blessing. See, there are some of you, you're blessed at work, but you're not blessed at home. So you got to ask God for another blessing because you're great at work. You're great at work. So you know what you do? You want to stay at, you want to stay at work. But when you go home, it's horrible. And you say, Lord, I'm missing a blessing. I think I'm short of a blessing, Lord. I need an extra blessing. Yeah. He said, listen, this is what God said. This is what I can do for you. If you would be obedient, I'll bless you in the city. That's where you work. Don't you go to the city to work. I'll bless you in the city. And then I'll bless you in the what? I'll bless you in the field. I'll bless you in different areas of your life.